Hello everyone, Fifi here with the lovely Sam
Hey.
of Midweek Musings. I did do one last week, I can't remember. We've had quite a bit going on.
I think we did. I was really unwell last week,
Yes.
so I don't think we. And
No.
Sylvia was busy.
Yeah, feeling all better now.
Much better, thank you. Yeah, a little bit of rest and yeah,
Yeah.
all good. The joys of motherhood. Kids brought home a bug, but yeah, on the mend now. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm not too bad, thanks. Having a bit of a tired day today. We both said we're feeling a bit pooped. But still battling on. I did have a lovely weekend though.
Yes, you had Jam for Freedom back at St Albans, didn't
Yeah,
you?
it was great. Decided to have a little picnic after the stand on Sunday, and I messaged Campbell in the hopes that there might be around, and there were, so it was great, and the weather was amazing. It was just because it's kind of turned to crap here now, but on Sunday I actually got really quite sunburnt. But yeah,
I did as well. In the morning.
the sun's just so strong. It just really gets you, doesn't it? I've got my theories about that, but we won't go there. But yeah, it was a really, really great day. And yeah, I was just sort of looking around and seeing people that, have been coming together for 15 months now, and just everyone's so tight with each other. And yeah, it's just amazing. It's the payoff really for that commitment. The St Albans stand was, it was a strong one from day one. You had that commitment. Of course, you have people that come and go, as you do with anything, but there was always that intention there, and that's remained. And now, you just see, yeah, it's the payoff really for all that commitment.
It becomes like, a massive extended family, doesn't it? I know, I feel like that about my stand and a lot of people I see regularly there. And it's something that comes through in the group quite a lot, people saying, they feel like family.
Yeah.
And it is just so comforting, more than anything else, to go to the stand on Sunday and see all these lovely people that you've been meeting for the last 15 months or, however long the stand's been going. And yeah, you come really close.
Yeah, you do. It is just like having a family. And yeah, it's just it's important to keep it all going. And that's what you see, is that, it does take a commitment and a bit of effort. But I think when you understand what it's for, what you're doing it for, then it takes, so there's a whole other dimension to it. It's not just meeting up for a coffee and a chat, which is lovely, of course it is, but it's so much more than that, because you're aware that you're keeping that flame alive. It's you're creating that community and putting that energy in. And so, we've always been doing this, being mindful of what is coming down the pipe, without being alarmist, but it was always about getting us together. It is kind of a safety in numbers thing as well. And so
Multifaceted though, isn't
it? Yeah, it really is. But yeah, then you reap the rewards, don't you? You reap the rewards for keeping it going. That just having those relationships, those friendships, that's just pure gold in itself. But with everything else that the stands have contributed towards and have got going, none of it would be possible if that commitment hadn't been there. And you have to allow these things time to evolve and grow. So, the first few months of meeting, there wasn't there wasn't much more going on in the beginning other than just sort of connecting and getting everything off your chest and, you know, kind of just getting together. But then as time goes on, there is that, okay, what now? What next? What next? And that's what we've seen. Oh, we've got our furry friend there. Always makes me laugh.
I always like to make an appearance.
Yeah, every time. Yeah, so I can't remember what I was saying now. I've just got distracted.
You've done, Kitty.
Beautiful.
Put her off her flow. Yeah, I think it is such an important thing, and I think, you know, we have seen you know, that the numbers that have been dwindling, where, you know, the restrictions have always been lifted, and, you know, perhaps that's a mixture of people being able to, you know, go out and enjoy their life, and sort of, you know, just taking a break and they'll be back. But there, I think, you know, for some people there may be this level of sort of apathy of, that's sort of, what's the point now, COVID's gone. But you know, we were saying earlier, the stands, they weren't ever just about COVID. It was never just about, you know, the fact that our lives were restricted by COVID, or the fact that, you know, it was all going bananas. You know, it is fundamentally, you know, the stripping back of our freedoms, of our rights, you know, these agendas that sort of COVID is a part of. And you'd sort of hope that the most people of watching would be very aware of those, and how everything that's happening now is still very much feeding into this sort of, you know, grand plan of Great Reset and Agenda 30 and, you know, all that jazz, you know. And I think, you know, for me at the moment, you know, it really is the time to be maintaining those stands, making the most of the fact that we're not being squeezed from all angles, you know, like in your face squeezed. Obviously the squeezing is going on, you know, big time in the background, but in terms of our everyday lives, there isn't that, you know, massive in your face. And but I think, you know, it is the time to be really making the most of this kind of little bit of relief, to kind of grow the stand, get out there, get things put in place for, you know, the potential of what is to come. You know, we don't want to sit here and scaremonger, and we don't want to give energy to all that crap that's coming. But I think, you know, it's something that we do need to be aware of when if they can. You know, there's so much we do to put ourselves in a better position for when that does happen. So we are more prepared, we are more able to survive and, you know, help thrive whatever is come.
Yeah, it's what I was saying earlier when we were just having a little chat before we came on. Humans are creatures of habit, and while we are like tremendously adaptable, we don't like change generally as a species. We do not like change. We like the known, and I think the restrictions and everything it was such a huge change out of our hands, seemingly. It really galvanized people. And that's when we saw, you know, the stands just went wild over here in the UK. When I started back in February last year, we're in the midst of lockdowns and all of that. And then we've seen that kind of tailing off as the restrictions were reduced and then kind of, you know, vetoed altogether pretty much. People can't wait to get back to their version of normality. And so you get that kind of, it's kind of complacency really, and apathy starts to creep in. And it's like you say, it's not the time to rest on your laurels, because none of this is going away. And like you say, the stands were never, obviously the scamdemic prompted all of
It's
this.
what prompted.
It did, because it was like, whoa, they're going for it. We've had our freedoms like totally impinged upon for, my God, well, go back as far as you like, but obviously it's ramped up and up and up, and then it was just so in your face. So obviously, you know, Brady started standing in Australia because of all of that. But it's always been about freedom, standing for freedom and truth. Never been about COVID and, oh, if that's disappeared, then there's nothing else to stand for. Until the tyranny ends, we don't stop. That's what we're standing for. And we're seeing more and more and more, whether, you know, the restrictions are kind of out of view at the moment, but all of this is rolling on and rolling on. They're stripping away. You know, most people don't even realise what's actually going on behind the scenes with new legislation and bills being put through that massively impacts our you know, freedom on every level, freedom of speech, freedom of movement, you know, you name it. And so there's no reason to think, oh well, you know, that's it, it's kind of job done. Things are going to get a lot worse. And you know me, I'm not one for scaremongering. I don't put lots of energy into the worst case scenarios. I'm also not an idiot. We're doing this for a reason. We're standing for a reason. We're still going for a reason. It's because of this huge agenda that COVID is a tiny part of, really. You know, if they can, well, they're in the process of crashing the global economy, money being going, you know, forget businesses and independent, being able to provide for yourself and your family independently. You know, it's all part of this. So yeah, it's more important than ever to be coming together and putting things in place, these alternatives.
I think it is, you know, it's about, you know, looking to the future, but in a positive way. You know, we have a real opportunity to reimagine the world, because it's never been, you know, I mean, it's when you look back at what, and you realize, you know, all the truth up to the surface and see what's been going on for decades, you know, you kind of realize how broken the world is. You know, it is broken. And you know, never has there been a time when so many have been awake or seen what's going on behind the scenes. Never has there been a time when so many have come together. And we really do have this massive opportunity to kind of reimagine, go back to basics, to start in our communities and rebuild, you know, a better society from the ground up. And I think, you know, all that can start at the stands. You know, it may start with one or two people standing. I mean, Brady stood on his own for 3 months. You know, if he'd have just given up and gone, oh, sod this, no one's coming to join me, we wouldn't all be enjoying, you know, the benefits of, you know, the family that we've kind of chosen for ourselves. And so, you know, there are still stands where you've just got a small handful of people, but there are plenty of ways to kind of get the word out there. Obviously, you know, you can always get in touch with us. We can put, you know, adverts out, shout out to media, re-advertise your stand. We've got leaflets on the website. You know, you can stick them up on community notice boards and things. There are people looking to stand all the time. You know, we are still hearing a lot of people saying we've had new people come to our stand, and that is why it is so important that those stands are maintained, because there are still people, you know, going, yeah, I want to be a part of this. And the more people we have, the more chance we've got of rebuilding a better world. You know, we can all play our part, whether you think you've got anything to offer or not. You know, simply that energy and that intention that we talk about time and time again, you know, can play a huge role. But it does take commitment of sort of being there every Sunday,
Yeah, and
from 10 o'clock.
yeah, and seeing the bigger picture, because you know you still get the odd naysayers. Oh, what good is standing in a park? Oh God. Oh, you know, it's like we're well over a year on and you're still, if you honestly think that's what it is, I don't know what to say to you now, because it's been done ad nauseum. I think people need to, like, the really strong successful stands are the ones where people know why they're standing and what it's for. And we were talking earlier about being that sort of future focused. I think a lot of people have still got one foot in the past, and they're the ones who aren't really as committed because they're still clinging on to, you know, we've still got obviously the vestiges of life before all of this. And don't get me wrong, my God, enjoy it, you know, do what you want to do, but we've got to be looking to a different future, because they're going to crash and burn all that stuff that people are sort of hanging on to and prioritizing. And I think that's when you see that difference in energy in people, the ones who really are invested, and you see these wonderful flourishing stands and new people are coming all the time, it's because they know that's where their sights are set. It's that we're going to be living in very you know, very different ways, indeed, and we'll all be, and that's not a bad thing. I mean, don't get me wrong, they're going to be very rocky times to get there, I think, but it's all about priorities, really. When you hear people kind of, oh well, I'd rather have a lion, up to you, fair enough, but if you're not going to, you can't expect to then rock up when things really hit the fan and you've not invested anything. It just doesn't work that way, with the best will in the world, you know, and everyone will always be welcome and will come together. But if you haven't really invested in those relationships and focusing on that different future now, you're not going to be quite on the same footing, are you? It's yeah, it's just where is your energy focused on? Is it building the future and getting us all together and we, you know, and making things happen, or is it hankering for the things that are, you know, not going to be around, let's face it, without being doom and gloom about it? You know, I think we've got to be realistically positive.
Being negative and being realistic.
Yeah, and there are people constantly emailing saying they've turned up to stands and there's no one there, and it's just so frustrating, because I've been there myself. I've done it, and it's really disappointing. But what I would say is, if that happens, don't give up. There have been so many stands where the same things happened, you know, the interest has obviously waned and that commitment wasn't there, and someone's turned up, and instead like, we've obviously really helped, like, encouraged, get the word out there, and kind of got them going, got them set up, and then the people have cut, and it's just they've become incredible solid stands, because the person coming along that has found nobody is taken it on and decided, no, I want this. And it does really work. It's all about that energy. So if that's happened to anyone, where you've turned up and there's no one there, do please consider, there are going to be other people like you who want to get something going. So definitely consider, instead of just walking, oh well, that was a waste of time, nothing's happening, it can start with you.
Be that person.
Yeah.
And you really do, you get out what you put in, you know, and if you can make that commitment, you know, and if you are on your own, you know, I've said to people before, you know, take something, you know, sit there in a drawer or read a book or whatever,
Yeah, it's
but
only an
be there,
hour.
be the light for other
Yeah.
people, you know, and you can build those relationships. You can be the one that starts a community, and reap the rewards of, you know, everything that brings. But yeah, if you do sort of attend a stand and you don't find your own, by all means email me at admin@standinthepark.org. I can try and get in contact with whoever originally registered it. It may be that, you know, it's a small stand, people are away, there may well be people back next week, but if for any reason, you know, we can't get hold of them, respond or whatever, yeah, just make that commitment. Will help with the advertising, and you will all find that there are other people out there that want it. You know, it does usually just take one person to kind of go, right, I'm going to do it, I'm going to make this happen. And yeah, we have I will just while we're on this, in the UK, we did last month, we've sent out a stand information form to all the stands in the UK. It just kind of, you know, confirms all the details of where you're meeting, and yeah, we're asking for all stands to kind of set up a stand email address just that we can put on our website to make it easier for people to make contact. But we haven't heard from quite a lot of stands yet. I mean, it may well be that the contact we had has moved, or you know, as it's cost, or they don't check their emails or whatever. So can I just ask anyone who's watching in a stand in the UK, you can either this on Facebook, you can comment underneath and I can let you know whether we've heard from your stand. Otherwise, if you could just send me a quick email, just, you know, stand information form with the name of your stand, ask if we've had one from your stand, I will email you back, let you know. If we've not heard from your stand, I can send you the form. Doesn't matter who fills it out. You know, we've said time and time again, there isn't necessarily a leader for the stands. They're community run, they belong to everyone. If you're there, you know, 3 out of 4 Sundays and you're committed to the stand, you can fill out the form. You know, it's very, very simple, very, very easy. It is, we do keep it confidential, we're not, you know, sharing your details or anything like that. And it is just to make sure, you know, the stands that we've got listed are actually active, and to try and put some things in place that can help, you know, stands to connect. And if you've got, you know, new standers turning up, or, you know, there are some people that do feel a little bit nervous, they don't just want to go and turn up, they'd like to make contact beforehand, they can just send you a quick email to your stand email address and you can get new people in that way as well. So yeah, if you could get in, admin@standinthepark.org, I would be really, really grateful. Whatever stand you attend, if I get hundreds of emails after this, because there are so many stands that we've still not been able to reach. So yes, please do get in touch if you are a regular stander, and let's make sure that our website is up to date, that your stand details are up to date, and that we can help get everyone connected. The other thing we're doing is asking for representatives from each stand to kind of come together. We're setting up a kind of national group for stand representatives so we can kind of really create a united front, you know, because it would be really, really great to move forward, hear about what, you know, all of the stands are doing, you know, share working things that aren't, sharing resources and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, it'd be really, really to hear from you. It's my little shout out.
Yeah, it makes such a difference.
I think you're frozen, Fee. Oh, there you are.
My back, yeah, the Wi-Fi's rubbish today. Yeah, it makes life so much easier for, you know, it really is about having those lists up to date and the resources and everything for all the new people who do want to join. And I think I might have frozen again, or you're showing us froze. Oh, my back, my connection is unstable. Yes, it is.
Hey, back.
Oh, yeah, I think, I don't know, it's sort of frozen here. I hate technology sometimes.
Yeah, you're all right. Keep going. Just keep going.
Yes, get your information in is all I was trying to say. it just strengthens everything. And definitely it's really inspiring to hear, because the stand's doing just amazing stuff. Like, people really are just incredible, and there's so much that's come out of people just coming together. But often we don't get to hear, not everyone's on social media, not everyone's, putting stuff out there, and even if they are, things get lost. But if we can have, some kind of blueprint for those of us that want to move forward with things, and like you say, like, present a really united front, things are definitely getting more organized, which is really reassuring, just within the movement in general, which I think is just a natural progression. After a certain amount of time, you get everyone together, that's when the magic happens, and we're seeing it more and more. But yeah, it would be really, really great to just kind of utilize everything that we've got going so far, and give each other ideas, and definitely connect regionally, nationally, where we can. It just puts us in a much stronger position, and yeah, where we can face what we're gonna have to face. That's the thing. There is no time for complacency.
No.
Get it straight in your mind what this is about, what we're standing for, we've never changed. Like, it's always been the same from day one. And it is time to prioritize and because this is coming. It is coming, and we're going to be so much better off. I already feel, I look back at in 2020, when all of this kicked off, and I did genuinely, I knew what this was all about. I've been, I don't like the word awake in that context, but I was aware of all of this, so I knew exactly what it was, and it was bloody terrifying. I felt so alone. I was lucky to have family who were also aware, but at the same time, you're like, okay, so we're aware, what the hell do we do still? It wasn't comforting at all, to be aware of what this was all about. And now I feel so different from having this community, having got involved in so much to combat this. And it's a very grounding, stabilizing thing to just know that you've got your comrades around you, and we're heading into uncharted terrain. So get everything lined up. Don't be complacent about things. And the squeeze is happening. I mean, yeah, we might not be restricted, as in you can't go here or do that, but it's getting, it's pretty serious stuff. So without going down the doom and gloom route, it's just like, this is your chance, this is it now. So, and just a big shout out to all the people that have just stood resolute every week, and really gone for it, because you're just seeing the fruits of that labor, and it's just wonderful to see it. So much has come out of just that, people coming together. That's all it takes.
It's absolutely inspiring. A lot of sort of what I see and hear about what's sort of going on all around the country, that's sort of up from these stands, and the amazing people that have been putting their energy into the stands. I myself find it incredibly inspiring, seeing what people are up to, and it gives me such hope that it all is not lost. Yes, all right, there's all this shit coming, but there is always hope. Well, there are people like, our standers and, everybody else. Well, there are people out there standing up, maintaining their stands, getting, you know, all these offshoot activities going out, be it outreach, be it community preparation, you know, be it whatever they're doing, while there are so many people doing much hope for the future. And yeah, I'm excited. I do see it as an opportunity. You know, it's there are moments where you just think, oh God, if this happens, what am I going to do? But we've got that safety net, we've got that hope. And I think for me, that's what I hold on to. There is hope. While we are here, there is always hope.
Always. There you have it. I think that's quite a good point to finish on.
Yeah.
Good. So yeah, well, have a great day, everyone. Evening, whatever. We'll get this out as soon as we can, and yeah, we'll catch up again. Hopefully next. Oh, I don't know about next week because I'll be off camp.
Away, aren't you? And I've got the kids at home because it's half term.
True. So we'll see, but yeah, we'll definitely be catching up soon anyway. So yeah, that's it. Get those forms in, everyone, and yeah, and keep getting the photos in and letting us know what you're up to, and you know, because like we say, it's massively inspiring. We get lots of ideas from each other that way, and connection, and yeah, so all good. So till next time.
Yeah, much love to standers everywhere.
Take care. Speak to you soon.
Bye.